Hi, and welcome to the Sawtooth National Recreation Area. My name is Ranger Sarin, and I love winter. Winter is my favorite time of year. You can see it's even snowing right now. I love to go out and explore the snow and look for animal tracks and just have fun in this winter wonderland. But how am I going to get around on the snow? If I walk through the snow, I'm gonna sink through and then my pants will get all wet and then I'll get cold. I wonder if there's a way to float on top of the snow. Maybe we can look at some of our animal friends and see what they do in the winter. You know what I see over there? I see some snowshoe hair tracks. Make some snowshoes to float on top. But what is there that I could use to make snowshoes? It does look like there's a lot of trees and branches out here. And actually it was just Christmas. And I still have my Christmas tree, so maybe I can use that. Did you know that snowshoes have been used as a way to travel in the winter for thousands of years? Early Native Americans used them, trappers and traders used them, and they were even used to deliver mail in the past. Today, they're a great recreational activity that help you to get outside and explore, and we can even see if we can make some ourselves. Depending on the type of snow that you're trying to get through, or if you're trying to walk out on flat snow or go up and down hills, there's a lot of different types of snowshoes. If you look at some of these older style snowshoes, you can see that it has this big wood frame that's bent around the outside and connected down here. And then here they've used sinew to kind of weave through. But we could also use cord for that, or even some old shoelaces, or we're actually going to use some of this, some of the boughs from this Christmas tree to stuff through our snowshoes and see if that helps us float on top. So the things that you need: some branches or willows, or use something like your old Christmas tree. Just make sure to check wherever you're gathering things to make your snowshoes that it's okay to collect those. If you're at your house, check with your parents and make sure they're okay with it. I'm here at the Visitor Center on Forest Service land, so that's why I'm using my Christmas tree that I had a permit so that I could go out and get. You can also call ahead to the visitor centers and see if it's okay to collect a small amount of some branches or willow before collecting. So just make sure to check first. Also, there's a lot of private property around and you don't want to be cutting things down on somebody else's land. So make sure to check that out first, and then you can go out and do some collecting. Come with me and we'll get ready to make our snowshoes. Longer sticks that will form the outside of our snowshoe. So we'll be able to bend that around and make sure it's big enough for the size feet that you have. So I have 2 of those, and then these actually are just dead branches, and these ones I'll use to go across underneath my toe, my foot, and my heel. You can kind of see how they have some going across through here. And then we'll put 1, 2, 3 in through here, and then instead of doing the weaving, what we're gonna do is use that Christmas tree and actually weave this through to help us to float on top. So you can gather some materials and do this with me, or I can show you how to do it now, and then you can have some fun with your families on the weekend and make your own snowshoes and test them out. So I'm going to take off some of these little extra branches that I don't need, and then I'm going to bend this around, and then I'm going to want to tie them together down here on the end. I'm going to use this twine that I have here. That should be big enough for my foot. I could even probably tighten it up a little bit. Gonna wrap it around here a couple of times and then tie it off. So I think I'll leave a little bit of this down here on the end, but I probably don't need a whole lot of it. Put my foot inside to make sure it fits. It's definitely big enough. And hopefully we can bring it together a little bit more when I put my cross-section pieces in. So I've got 3 of those that I can put in here. So I can break them a little bit closer to the size that I want. Make sure they would be underneath my feet. Pull them a little closer together. So I'm gonna cut some smaller pieces of this and tie those around each of these. So you kind of go over the top one, around the outside, and then tie it off. I'm just using overhand knots. Seems to work fine. Last one. All right. We'll see if those are underneath my feet. A little wide. So now my foot fits right on top. So as I found out on my first couple of tries, it's really important to have these 3 that come underneath here to help you from the beginning. And they just slide underneath and then come back up on the other end. And then when you start weaving, that's what's gonna help you, or that's what you're gonna weave through. And then that helps your Christmas tree or to stay up. So again, I can tie all these down. Other things you can do is make sure when you're tying, you know, I've used a variety of things like string or twine. Probably pea cord would be the best if you had some. And you know, you can go around multiple times to hold it in place, and you could experiment with different knots. You know, there's really a lot of options, and you can test those out as you're trying to find out what works the best. And then every time you make one, you can test it out and see how well it works. Bottom one on, started using this rope at the bottom here. It's a little sturdier, and I don't need all of it for my lacing. I don't need these pieces that came out of the top, so I can trim those up and use them. And then again, gonna weave all these pieces through, over, under, over, or under. Make sure you have enough coming out the other side. Under, over, under, over. Just gonna weave in all these pieces underneath here, but on top, underneath our big 3, and on top of the other ones. I'm going to take these last few pieces off the end here that I don't need. That one was a little long. I think the other one's fine. And then I just need a way to tie my feet on there. So I think I'm actually going to switch to this heavier duty rope for that part. Just going to put my foot on top here. So go over my toe and around the back. My toe will pick up. Put my other one on, and then I'll test them out. Hooray! We did it. We were able to make our own snowshoes. Whether you made your own snowshoes, you have some of these fun old style snowshoes, or you have some of the modern snowshoes. Snowshoeing is a great winter activity that you can do with your friends and family. We encourage you to get outside and enjoy what winter has to offer. We'll see you next time.